I'm going to want to welcome everyone and thank y'all for taking time to be with us tonight to talk a little bit about membership. And it sounds like some of you are having some great results, COVID and all. So going to do a little, I thought, even though my slide won't work, let's see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, George, I'm hung up.
How can that be?
I don't know.
Did you hit on the next slide?
I tried. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
There you go.
So I think y'all probably heard, some of you probably heard Ron talking about Kiwanis International offered online training in June. And so you should have had 3 of your club members. If you weren't able to do it in June, they are recorded. And I think, Daryl, is that what the link you put up a while ago in the chat?
Yes, yes, that's what he did.
So the link is in the chat if you want to copy that down, or we can get that sent to you. If otherwise, you can go to Kiwanis1.org website and look at it through there. So tonight our objectives are to create a healthier club, to discuss ideas for member retention, recruitment, and education, and to develop a plan to educate new members into Kiwanis and your club. So we got a little housekeeping. If you haven't entered your name in the chat box, please do that, and what office you're holding and your club name, so that we can make sure and give you credit for that. And as we chat tonight, if you have any questions or comments, if you'll put that over in the chat, and when we finish, then we'll go back through the chat and let everybody have the opportunity to ask a question or make any comments that you might like to do.
Katrina,
Yes.
make sure everybody gets on mute so we don't have any background noise, please.
Okay. If you don't mind muting right now while we're talking, that would be great. Your trainers tonight, I'm Katrina Barranco, and the other trainer is Byron, who, as you can see, already bossing me around. But anyway, so we'll be here tonight to present some things to hopefully help you, or at least re-energize you with membership. I want to tell you before we start a little bit about the Georgia membership team. I hope that you will use us this coming year if you need us for anything. I serve as the district membership chair. We have an awesome growth committee. Daryl Gums and Frank Felker and Byron Mulligan. You see the divisions that are by their name. So whatever your division, if your division's out there, then that's the person for you to contact if you need help in strengthening and membership plan, whatever you might need to help your club grow. Please reach out to them. They are here to help you in any way that they can.
Or a speaker at your meeting.
Correct. If any of you know of some opportunities for us to share our story and open some new clubs in the community, we have a great opening team, which is Juanita Edwards and Dewey Smith. So if you'll reach out to them or to me, we'll be glad to visit that site, do a site survey, and work with bringing a team in to make that happen. So I hope that you guys will kind of keep an eye out in your area. You know your division better than we do. So please kind of watch out for some other opportunities for us to share the Kiwanis story and make communities and children a little bit better place for them. So at this time, Byron will start with asking you if your club is ready for new members.
Thank you, Katrina. Just like when you're expecting company to your house, you need to make sure you get your club ready to receive new members and guests. You need to be welcoming and engaging. A lot of clubs I visit always have a member assigned to the door, and they welcome all that come in, members and non-members, and assist guests and as everyone enters the meeting. Make your meetings fun and interesting. 50-50, trivia, happy bucks, anything to make it interesting and fun before you move into your speakers. interesting programs and speakers. Invite speakers that will speak about current issues, new things in your community, or issues that are interested, that your members are interested in. Activities and service projects. Most new members who want to join a service club nowadays wants to serve their community. A lot of them are not into the meet, greet, eat, and leave type situation. So some clubs have maybe a couple of pet projects a year, and then the rest of the time they're just meeting and having speakers. So think about increasing service projects to your community, especially coming in the post-COVID period. Notice I said post. All communities have a great need for a lot of things. While we're concentrating on getting new members and getting your house together, make sure that you concentrate on your existing members. Don't forget the ones that are missing the meetings and haven't been to a meeting or paid their dues. Follow up, let them know that they're being missed. Once you get new members and all throughout the year, you need to have a meeting on club education about Kiwanis. It's important to keep the existing members educated about Kiwanis, especially when you get a new member. Let them educate them on Kiwanis International and what your club does for your community. Another great thing to do is do interclub visits. You can get new ideas from what is successful in other clubs. You meet new Kiwanis friends and new ideas that will or will not work. Have your club attend a division rally. A lot of clubs think the division rally is only for the club officers, but it's for the entire membership of the division. Make sure your president, secretary attends the council meetings. District training. We're only having one district training this year unless we decide to have one online in the fall. Make sure you come to the district convention, and especially this coming year, make plans to go to Salt Lake City because we have a member that's running for vice president of Kiwanis International, and she's one of the trainers tonight. Learn about the big picture. Know about Kiwanis so you can explain to the prospective members what Kiwanis is, what your club does, and all the great things we do for the community. Yes.
I'm trying. I don't know why sometimes it won't go.
That's all right.
Hey, while I'm trying to do that, just to go back for a minute to when you were talking about, be sure and reach out to your club members that are not attending. There was a club that kind of did little postcards that had little spots on them, kind of like a dog. And they would send cards to them going, we didn't spot you today at the meeting, or they would get all kind of different little sayings that they would send. But also they would put those cards out and, you know, ask people just to pick them up and write a little note to that person. So it could be different people kind of reaching out to them to let them know that, you know, you miss them. So think of some different ways to let your members know that they are missed when they're not at that meeting. And Byron, I don't know why this slide won't move.
That's all right, we can go ahead. Okay, each club, before you start your membership drive each year, make sure you have a membership chairman. Make sure the secretary puts that membership chairman on the dashboard. The reason being is when the membership team looks into your club, especially when we're going to come visit you, we can see who to contact prior and see what kind of program or what kind of plan that you have to gain new members. Set a goal for each year. How many new members does your club want to gain this year? Why do we need new members? New members bring in more people to do service projects and fundraisers, different ideas. possibly leadership down the road. And we're always losing members each year, so we need to keep replenishing our membership, and especially with younger people. Have a timeline for where in your year you want to start showing positive growth. Remember also, not only is your membership chair and the membership committee responsible for new members, the whole membership is responsible for bringing in guests throughout the year. 74% of all new Kiwanians join Kiwanis because an existing member asked. My question to everyone is your club and are you asking people to come to your meeting as prospective members? Slide 10.
Is that taking care of existing members?
Yeah, taking care of members. Again, I say, don't forget existing members while you're gaining new members. When they miss a meeting or two, call them. Ask them, are they okay? See if there's anything you can do to help them. See if they have any concerns health-wise or whatever, and make sure they're missed. You know yourself, if you belong to an organization and you're sick and been gone for a couple of meetings, and nobody calls you to tell you that you're being missed, you kind of get the feeling that, hey, they really don't miss me. So then you may not want to continue with your membership. Put a greeter at the door again. Change up seating. One thing I ask every time I visit clubs, and I visit about half the clubs in the district, I ask everybody at first, is this where you sit and this is who you sit with every week? I get a nod of the head, yes. Change up seating so you get to learn the other members of your club. I know it's comfortable to sit with people you know, but it's even better to learn about your newer members.
Hey, and Byron, you guys think of some fun ways to change that seating up rather than just saying y'all need to change, because trust me, they usually won't. But you know, you can have some candy in a dish, and when they come in, they pick their favorite piece of candy or whatever, and then you have a table, and that's what table that candy sits on. So you'll have enough candy for each table. So it just kind of, they don't know why they're picking the candy to start off with, and then when they get there, you like, you know, you sit at that table because you picked the peppermint, or you sit at that one because you picked the butterscotch. So it just kind of makes it fun, and it mixes them up without them having to choose where they're gonna go sit next. So think of some fun ways to do that, maybe once a month.
Another way that I've saw successful was get 4 different colored chips, and the greeter gives the person coming in a chip, and then have the color on the table. So the red sits at the red table, the blue sits at the blue table, and the green sits at the green table, and so on and so on. Encourage all members to participate. Every non-member who attends your meeting or service project is a potential new member. Especially seek out your speaker. Prepare a club brochure, a little trifold or a bifold handout that says something about Kiwanis and something about specific about your club. What your service projects are through the year, what your fundraisers are. Let them read the paper and understand about what your club is doing for your community. Also, on the KI site, you can order Kiwanis International brochures. Have a club brochure and a Kiwanis brochure in your hand when every new member comes through the door. You welcome them and give them both of the brochures so they can sit down before the meeting, and they can read about both organizations and further solidify their thoughts on where would they fit into this organization. Send written invitations to prospective members. You get the prospective members through the membership committee taking lists of names from all your membership. Have maybe at a membership night, make it a special deal and invite several members and have it like a reception type meeting. assign members a meeting to bring in prospective new members. That happened at the Brooklet Club, and that was very successful. One thing you have to remember is do not take the first rejection as the final answer of them being no. I know myself, my sponsoring member asked me 5 times before I joined, and the only hesitation I had was I was trying to make sure that I just moved into the community, so I was trying to make sure that was where I wanted to do my volunteer work. Back to the invite. The more visitors you get through the door, you have a 74% chance of getting them as a new member. That's all of mine.
You done? He's done. Let's give him a hand.
I'm going too fast.
You're good. So Byron has kind of talked to you a little bit about, recruiting and how you can make that club attractive to new members. So once you have recruited that member and they've signed on, what are some things you can do to make sure that we hold that member? Because, if we don't have value in a club, they're not going to stay. There are lots of things they can do. They can get on the computer, they can do whatever. But you need to make that club experience valuable. So as Byron said earlier, not so they're just going to go eat and go home. Hopefully every time they leave your meeting, they are smiling in their car on the way home because of something that happened that they remembered that made them smile. But one thing I think is very important is that you make sure you do a new member orientation. And I'm afraid we're not doing that as much as we were. I think it needs to be done within the first month that they become a member. And sometimes you think, well, we just have one. I hate to do an orientation with one person, but invite them to coffee one morning or invite them to lunch or whatever, but give them some type of orientation as to, what to kind of expect and what's going on, but also depend on not only your sponsoring person that sponsored that new member, but pick out some mentors in your club that are really good with people that know Kiwanis and that really can build that relationship, and assign them also to that person. Because sometimes I will tell you, if their sponsor's not there and they've just started, sometimes they're a little awkward going in. Because I can tell you when I joined our club, and it was a pretty large club then, and the second week I went, my sponsor wasn't there, and I sat down at this chair. They said, no, you can't sit there. That's Albert's chair. And I'm like, holy moly, well, I didn't really want to go back. So make sure that you have other people there so that the sponsoring person's not there, that somebody else kind of picks up that slack. Another suggestion on member orientation, if you do have 2 or 3, or even if you're just meeting one-on-one, have them invite the spouse to hear the orientation. It's always nice for the spouse to kind of know what's going on in Kiwanis and what their spouse is a part of, and who knows, they may decide they want to join too. So I would encourage you to include them in that orientation if they want. Be sure that you are letting that new member know about your local club history. How long has that club been there, and what are some of the things that this club has done in the past that maybe they're not doing now, to kind of let them know the impact that this club, the club that they have now joined, has made on this community, and how important it is that this club continues doing that. And, if you have a signature to a project, or what is your club known for? I mean, is it the big pancake breakfast? I will tell you, the Daugherty County Club, we have 4 clubs in Albany, and the Daugherty County Club does a huge art show every year, and they have it at the mall, and it's really well known. And so I'll be in the grocery store with my K-pen on, and they go, oh, you're Kiwanis, you're art show, right? And I don't tell them I'm not in that club. I'm like, yes, but with that said, it gives me the opportunity to talk about Kiwanis to that person that asked about it. So number one, Dewey Smith will tell you, be sure to always wear your pen so that people will ask, but also let that new member know, if somebody asks them about Kiwanis, then they'll be able to know what to talk about, what your club does and the impact it makes on your community. But also make sure you provide information about Kiwanis International, the whole picture of Kiwanis, so that they don't think it's just your club, which your club's doing phenomenal things. But sometimes when you, as Byron mentioned earlier, to encourage people to go to training, sometimes when they see that, oh gosh, it is bigger than our club, oh gosh, it is bigger than our district, you know, here's International, we're doing this type of service all over the world. So just let them be familiar with that. And then please not only emphasize participation in training opportunities, as Byron talked about, but drag them to some of the training. Say, you know, let me pick you up and ride with me to Macon to do some of our training. Or, you know, why don't you come to Salt Lake City? I need all of y'all there, by the way, to the International Convention. You know, sometimes it just takes a little nudge. And them feeling more comfortable. And I will tell you, if 3 or 4 of your club members ride with a new club member to training like to Macon, it gives you an opportunity to get to know each other better, but also an opportunity to share Kiwanis a little bit more in a casual setting. So just make sure. I was sitting in a meeting not too long ago, and there was a guy there, and he said, they were talking, and he said he'd been in this club, I was visiting a club, about 6 or 8 months, and they started talking about SLPs, and he said, I don't know what that is. So be aware that your new members don't know our little slang, where they don't know that SLP stands for Service Leadership Programs. And even if they did know that that's what it stood for, they may not know what our service leadership programs are. So we take sometimes for granted that everybody knows about Kiwanis, but that your new members do not. So I challenge you to make an effort. If you don't have a member orientation plan in your club, then go back and ask them if they can maybe develop one, or even better yet, that you will help with that, or even better than that, that you will chair doing that. So I challenge you to make sure that as your new members come in, you make them feel important and give them all the knowledge they will need to be a successful member. Yes, so we're at questions.
Stacy Brooks asked, anyone have a good club brochure? Ashley Corbin from Statesboro said, yes, she does, and she'll be glad to send it to you. Also a question was, do you have any handbooks that is given to new members? I know for a fact that Coweta County has an excellent new member packet. I hate to say that because Kathy Miller will get mad at me, but they have an excellent packet, and she can give you ideas.
Hey,
Kathy Miller, Coweta County.
Yeah, will you let her tell them about, they do orientation before a member's inducted? A little bit
Go
about
ahead,
that.
Kathy.
I'm here.
Give us a little bit about your new member induction. Training.
The first thing we do is we have a prospective member come to 3 meetings to make sure that that's where she wants to be. At the first meeting, they get the club brochure. At the 3rd meeting, they get the new member packet that has the application, the background check, and we have an anniversary packet that we had put together, a copy of our newsletter, and that sort of thing. And then once the background check is back and the person has been voted on by the board, we do orientation, and they get a notebook that has all our local information, our policies and procedures, the bylaws, and anything related to Georgia and anything related to KI, and that is done at their orientation before they are inducted. And we have a 2-week timeline so that it doesn't drag out over a long period of time. And we also have a new member form that the sponsoring member follows, and that takes the new member to a board meeting, an interclub, an SLP, and they get, back when the day when we had the, oh gosh, I can't think of it now, it was a pin that was the Ring of Honor. And we have attached that image to a certificate, and the sponsoring member gets that certificate after they have done all these things with their new member. And that really gives them an overall picture of what it's like. I will post my email on the chat. If anybody wants to know any more information, I'll be glad to follow up.
Byron, they want to know where the secretary what is the secretary dashboard?
Okay, the secretary dashboard is where your club is connected to the district and Kiwanis International. Only your president, your secretary have full access to the dashboard for your club, and the treasurer has access to obtain the financial information, vouchers, payments due or whatever. And if you're a secretary and you need to know it, you log in and you hit the members, and you on the left side it'll say district dashboard. You hit on there and then you have full access to it. If you need to know specific information, do not hesitate to get a hold of me. I can walk through it via the phone and get you proficient in about 15 minutes.
Stacy asked if there is a orientation script, and yes, there is. It's on Kiwanis.org, and it gives you some other suggestions too. So if you go on, hopefully if you go on Kiwanis.org and just search for the member orientation, but if you have some issues pulling that up, let me know, and I'll see if I can't get a direct link to that.
Mac would like to have an example of a club brochure. Mac, write your email address and your full name so I can send you a copy of the one that I have. Let's see. Kathy has her email address on there. No more questions? We need questions. Come on, people. We didn't cover everything. I know you have questions.
Byram, I have another comment.
Come on.
I'm also membership retention chair. And one of the things we did during COVID and to keep in touch with our members was we divided the membership up with our board members, and they each had a member that they had to take care of by sending emails, cards, or whatnot all through all of that time we were not meeting. And we've had a lot of positive feedback from that.
That's great.
So we're getting to the witching hour. Are there what days are training this week, and what can you give that, George?
Yeah, the hour continues at 6:30 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tomorrow night is SLP. It's presented by Mike Sullivan. Wednesday night is about the district goals, distinguished club, distinguished member, etc. Presented by me, George Elkins. And Thursday night, David Simmons will present district projects and related things to that. I think well, that's the primary thing, but there's some other related stuff that goes with that too. But that's 6:30 in the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. Next week, we start again at 7 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Same order, same people, same bad channel.
We have Frank Felker, the district club growth chair. Frank, you want to say some words? Frank? Anybody want to?
That's what you have to hit the unmute button, don't you, Byron? No. Well, anyway, well, somebody did ask about, it might have been Stacy, asked about the new member induction. Also, you can find that in the leadership guide. Everyone, I don't know, Byron and George, you'll have to help me. I don't know if the leadership guide has been handed out recently
To
folks.
some, yeah, the lieutenant governors have them. They were passed out at mid-year training for clubs that were in attendance.
Okay.
That picked them up, and then the rest of them went to the incoming lieutenant governors for them to pass out to their clubs as they go through installation and things like that. The first meetings they go to.
Yeah, actually, I guess we normally hand these out too when we have our division training that we're going through right now in person. So
Yeah,
obviously we're not meeting in person,
your lieutenant governors got all of that if your club did not get it at mid-year training.
Okay.
So, Tim McDaniel has asked, are there any new techniques for recruiting developed during this pandemic? KI has been trying to compile some of that, but I will tell you, Tim, that what most people are doing is, you know, there's some people who are looking for ways to serve their community, and what better way than the Kiwanis. We're a great vehicle for that. We already set up. So a lot of people are inviting friends to just come help them with service, and kind of from there talking Kiwanis and membership. Do any of you others have some suggestions on what you've done to recruit during COVID?
Kathy, what have you been doing? You say you've gotten 5 new members in COVID period.
Well, one walked in on her own, and she's the latest one we're getting ready to install. But the big thing was just people asking, and some people were tired of being at home. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're looking for opportunities, and
Mhm.
we're a great opportunity for them. So we just need to.
And of course, we're not doing any service right now. And our big fundraising project is the Coweta County Fair, and that's been canceled. So we're homing in on pecan sales, since that's our other fundraiser. But right now, we're just not doing any service.
That's what I'd like to say to everybody. I know a lot of clubs have their own successful fundraisers that they do that involves people. I think it's time for every club to consider alternate ways and means of having fundraisers. And Tatnall County and a few other clubs are doing online raffles.
Oh, yeah.
They're very successful. I would say get a hold of Michelle Lands at Tatnall County Kiwanis Club, or Lieutenant Governor Dan Bennett. I'm sure he could come on your Zoom meeting and give you a presentation on how they conduct the online fundraiser. Been very successful. They gain about $750 each month throughout the year. And we have to think of other ways. And meeting also. Yes, your meeting area spot is closed. Yes, your church is closed. You have parks. You have other places where you can get together and socially distance and get in front of people again and get that contact again, because we all know as Kiwanians, we like to see and talk and whatever else. And the Zoom meetings are great. In person is better.
Yes.
You have to do it safely, but it's possible. It doesn't have to be a permanent change. There could be another restaurant that could fit your club. But try it. It doesn't even have to involve food for the time being. You can brown bag a meeting if you meet at lunch or dinner or whatever, and just get together and just start getting back to be your Kiwanis Club.
Can you put Dan Bennett's contact information in the chat? While Byron's doing that, just want to remind you guys that there is so much membership information, templates, and those types of things on Kiwanis.org. And so sometimes when you're at home and can't get out, just kind of move around on that website and look. There are tons of information, but also, as you was shown earlier, the membership team, we're here to help you find those things. And so just please reach out to us. Are there other questions? George, were you going to say something a while ago?
Stretch it out, because I'm trying to type
No, don't stretch it out. We don't have to take everybody's time. We did hit 100 participants again tonight. So that is 500 participants the 4 nights the first week, and the 5th night another 100 tonight. So we're getting our message out, and we appreciate everyone who are attending these sessions. It's really important. If you pick up one little idea or one little thought, or we make one contact with each other to do something differently from what we've been doing before, that'll make it worth it all. What is Brent It's coming in too fast. What'd Brent say?
He was saying that, they are continuing to offer both person and Zoom meetings. And I think a lot of clubs are doing that now, because there's still some that are not ready to come back. They canceled the annual golf tournament, but they've continued to sell their gun raffle tickets, and they're selling well. And I will tell you, people are like almost more willing to buy some things that you're doing. I know when we sold the district raffle tickets, I used to struggle to sell what they sent us, and I had to ask for more because, you know, people really just want to do something right now. They want to help. And so I think a lot of people are having some great results with fundraisers. I know our club usually does a 5K run. So we're doing a virtual run that's kind of getting to be a big thing. So there are ways that, you know, we can work around that. So I think one club in, I believe it's Rocky Mountain District, had a car show, but they just submitted the pictures and people voted on the pictures online. They paid to enter their car and they gave away a prize for the, you know, best antique car or whatever. So, you know, we just got to think outside the box a little bit and take what we've been doing and make it a little more COVID friendly, I guess.
Did y'all talk at all? Did y'all talk at, go ahead.
Oh, this is Ashley Corbin with the Statesboro Club.
Hey, Ashley.
So, our annual fair and rodeo ended up having to be canceled, of course, because of COVID. Our fair covers a 7-county area, so that was a huge hit to our club. And one thing we did, just as an idea for others with events that have been canceled, is we worked with a local print shop. She actually had come to midwinter training. It's Metter Graphics. Jennifer Mercer is her name. They're going to be doing a fundraiser for us starting at the end of this month. Basically, she's going to sell shirts that we helped design on a website. We don't have to do anything but advertise it through our Facebook or website, whatever. And then the cost of the shirt will come out of what the customer pays. So there's no upfront risk to us. And so she's been a pleasure to work with, and we're hoping, we know it's not going to be the 100,000 or more that we usually pull in with a fair, but it'll be something at least. So that's always an idea.
Ashley, make sure that gets to Samantha Downton. She is our marketing person for the district. She will get it on the Georgia District website.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And also Facebook. So we'll extend whatever you guys set up. There's no reason why the whole state can't participate. The state needs to see it, and any of our clubs are welcome to get information to Samantha, and so she can post it so that the state clubs and members can take advantage of an opportunity for them if they want to.
Okay, great. Thanks, George.
You're welcome.
Mr. George.
Yeah, Tim.
Timothy.
I know who you are.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah, I got one question. I just got a member in before COVID here, and we did have an induction for him. He's a preacher, and in February, I asked both of them to come to the chamber. We both talked about the members of the chamber and Kiwanis, and he was interested in both of them.
Good, good.
He joined Kiwanis and the chamber in Cordell.
Good.
And he's a preacher. So he was my guest speaker last February. So look, my guest speaker joined Kiwanis. So look, I'm his sponsor. So whenever we induce him, I'm paying that joker so hard.
And all right, Tim, good. And the point is, your speakers that come to every club meeting, where they do it online or where they come to you in person, should be given an opportunity. If you have a club brochure and an application, the Vidalia Club is a large club, and everyone that visits that club gets, on one side is a brochure and the other side is a membership application. They hand a piece of paper to every new person that comes in there, and they were able to grow the club doing that. So that's always a good opportunity for us to meet new people, especially new speakers and people that are in our business. We offer all kinds of charitable organizations to come visit and speak to our clubs. Well, many of those people have that servant's heart and would like to join the club if they're given the opportunity. Let me change subject. Katrina, did y'all go over our membership goals and our club goals for the year?
No, we did not. Would you like to share that with them?
Yeah, just very quickly, because it's.
Can I say something real quickly before you say
Yeah,
that back on
yeah.
the speakers? Those of you who are meeting Zoom or hybrid, or even if you want to Zoom somebody in, people are getting used to doing that. So now's the time to get speakers from Atlanta and from Kiwanis International and from all over to be guest speakers at your meeting. So take advantage right now when people can sit in front of their desk in Atlanta, and you know, they're doing more and more of that. So just want to encourage you to reach out to some of those opportunities. Okay, back to you, George.
Well, I just wanted the attendees to know that we have a goal of 5 new clubs, and the goal is to have them completed by July the 1st of next year. And we have some sites located, actually sites given to us by lieutenant governors or members of the club that said, hey, this would be a nice place to have a new club. So we have 5 sites, and we'll be announcing those and going after them in the next 30 days. We have a net increase in membership of 1 over this year. So whatever we end up this year, my goal is to have 1 more next year than whatever we ended up this year. And that's a big task to do, just so everybody understands. To be a net +1 is always a big thing. 10% increase in new members over this current year. We will normally have about between 500 and 600 new members in a year. And on the reverse side of that, that's about how many people we lose sometimes because of a variety of reasons and such. But the object there is to have a 10% increase in the new members. And then for our clubs that are the weaker clubs, which we call the under charter strength, under 15, under charter strength clubs, there are about 30 of them, 27, 28, somewhere in that range. And my goal and our goal for the membership group is to cut that in half for the new year. And that in itself, that's about 15 clubs. And that will also be a challenge in itself. So this group, and of course you've got Katrina Baranco, Juanita Edwards, Dewey Smith, you got dear Byron Mulligan, you got Frank Felker that's on here, and you got Daryl Gumps. And all those folks are, they're some of your district leaders, they're some of your international leaders, but they have a passion for membership, and they're still involved in us growing clubs and bringing in new members. So, I mean, that's a big thing for us, for the Georgia district. No other districts do not have that advantage of having that quality of people at the top levels of membership. And so I appreciate them too, because, you know, I look for them every year. Byron will look for his leadership next year, and to have these folks come to me and say, yes, I want to do it. You know, that's an important thing. So we look for good things in our membership. You know, things are going to change for us. We're going to enter into a new year. Instead of being COVID affect us, we're going to be coming out of COVID in some form or another. So we're planning to move forward. We will plan around the COVID situation, but we're looking forward to seeing everybody at governor's rallies and starting in January, and us gathering together once again in all of our clubs. It'll be a grand celebration when we start getting back together. So that's all I've got.
Hey, George, how about, I don't remember the statistics offhand. Could you tell them the statistics we found about how many clubs are meeting in person, online, and not?
Yeah. Our statistics were 45% clubs meeting in person, 26% meeting online. That's 71% of 151 clubs. That's over 100 clubs are meeting in some form or another. So that's a big thing for the Georgia district. Other districts and I talked to all the governor-elects in all the districts of North America and some outside. Every month we have a Zoom meeting, and there are none that compared to what we're doing as far as the Georgia district is concerned, as far as meeting Zoom-wise, as far as meeting in person. Of course, that leaves another 29% of clubs that are not meeting. But the message we get from them is, oh yeah, we're talking to each other, we're calling each other, we're checking on each other, seeing how everyone is. So even those clubs are communicating, but they have not gotten into the Zoom thing or gotten into a place to where they can go back and meet together. So 71% of the state clubs meeting is a big number, and no one else compares to us in the North America continent.
So just want to remind you guys, if you have not signed in the chat room, please put your name and club and your position if you have one, so that we can make sure that you get credit for being here tonight.
Yep. Make sure your name is there. It's good.
Hey, George,
Yo.
will the link be the same for next, for the tomorrow's meeting as well?
Yes, the same link for this week and next week. It's a recurring link.
Beautiful.
So yes, just tell everybody you know, join in on that link, send it to them via the email. If you can't do that, send me a text or an email or something, and I'll send it out again. Your incoming lieutenant governors have the link. They should be sending to your presidents and secretaries. David Simmons has sent it all to the current secretaries. So I mean, a lot of people know this is here. So, you know, this is good. Have another 100 on tonight. It's terrific.
Is there anything else, any other questions or comments? If not, we might let you off early tonight.
I'm hungry.
All right.
He's hungry. Well, thank y'all for being here, and I hope that you'll tune in tomorrow night.
Yep.
For the next
Yeah, well.
session.
SLP tomorrow night. Thank y'all very much.